we are surrounded by juice right now, and that's a really good thing. And Michel Boissy is with us.
Great.
Very French.
Nice pronunciation.
Thank you very much. Founder of Ripe. Now, I remember when you were starting in Wallingford in 2009.
Yes,
and
exactly
you were squeezing, trying to get this company off the ground.
You got it.
How did you start?
Well,
I mean, where did it come from?
You know, we started basically, I was a chef and an engineer for a long time. And necessity is the mother of invention, they say. So, you know, when I was a chef, I saw a huge hole in the market for fresh juice. I mean, there was juice. You couldn't buy good juice. In order to have a really good juice or make a good juice cocktail in a restaurant, you had to squeeze everything there fresh. So having an engineering background, I looked into it. I dug deep into why is juice not better, at least packaged juice in the States.
Because this is so much easier. You just pour it into a drink, right?
Exactly, but you know, one would say, well, there's been bottled juices on the market forever. What's different about yours? Well, it's all about basically heating the juice or pasteurization. So we don't heat our juice. We don't pasteurize it.
It's cold pressed.
It's cold pressed, and we use an amazing new technology called high pressure processing, which does everything that pasteurization does minus the heat. So we're not heating the juice. So we're not killing color, flavor, aroma, nutritional profile. And it's all of what fresh juice is. But
what you have learned over the years.
So much.
What flavor did you start with?
So the margarita, when you first came to see us years ago, the margarita was our first one.
This is
it. That puppy right there. So that's fresh Persian lime, about 10% fresh Valencia orange juice, and organic agave nectar.
Meant to be mixed with alcohol.
Exactly. I mean, you can mix it 50-50 with water or sparkling water too, and it's a great, you know, mocktail.
So you don't have to go to the store. You've got it right here.
You got it.
Okay. Then where'd you go from margarita?
So margarita, we continued the bar juice line back after the original one.
There's craft juice and bar juice.
Bar juice. We have the two lines now: bar juice and craft juice. Right? Craft juice and bar juice. So we did a few more SKUs. We did the San Marzano Bloody Mary.
Okay.
And we did our fresh lemon sour. The lemon sour is the one in the restaurant business where, you know, lemon sour is usually what comes with a Collins or you know, a vodka lemonade or something. So
you and the
lemon
guys
sour,
started with the drinks, which figures, right?
100%. We made a punch. We made a punch. We came out recently. The latest to a Cosmo, a fresh Cosmo. We started a collaboration with Ocean Spray, so we're buying fresh berries from their cooperative now, and we incorporated fresh cranberry juice. So we did a fresh bar Cosmo, and then recently, about a year and a half ago, we came out with the craft juice line. The craft juice line is basically, there's a lot of great cold pressed juices on the market, some of our competitors, right? But no one was really doing all the juices that we drink every day that we were raised on. So orange, apple, pomegranate, pineapple, the simple ones that we drink a lot of every day. No one was doing the HPP cold pressed versions of those. So that's exactly what craft juice is. You imagine having like a fresh apple juice like you would make at your kitchen at home, or a fresh cranberry, for example. The cranberry we've been drinking forever is decent, but
good
it's
for kids.
100%.
Gluten-free?
No added sugar, gluten-free. The only SKU in craft juice that we add sugar to is the cranberry juice cocktail, because cranberry is very, very strong and potent. But we do make a 100% cold-pressed, unsweetened cranberry, which is super healthy and no added sugar. It's very strong.
When I saw you in 2009 and you were pressing in a little space in Wallingford.
Yeah. Matchbox.
Did you think you would be here? Because you're in how many places now across the country?
I mean, so we distribute in both restaurants, hotels, and bars. One channel, and the other channel is retail grocery. I mean, we're in over a couple thousand now, easily.
So you're making some money
both.
now.
Yeah. Not quite, but we're getting there. We're good. That's the goal. No, I never thought we'd be here. I mean, I knew we wanted to grow it, but timing is everything, and passion. And we're leveraging amazing technology.
And now you're in New Haven.
And now we're in New Haven.
And you're employing how many people?
We've created about 120-something jobs. You know, the city of New Haven's been great. Community Foundation, the state, Connecticut Innovations, DCD, Webster Bank. I mean, these guys have, they've really helped us, you know, because we are that smaller Connecticut-grown company that started, and you hear stories sometimes of Connecticut chasing away larger companies and whatnot, but I have to tell you, everybody has really embraced what we're doing and helped us, and it's gratifying.
So this far down the road, so we have these, the bar juices.
Yep.
Now we have these.
So this is
what is this?
Yeah, so this is one of our patented technologies.
And how did you come up with this?
This was, well, we knew that we use this high pressure processing, right? And it's a post-package process. So we squeeze the juice, we put it in the container, and then we put it into the machine to put the immense pressure on it. And when you get into a bigger size format, like 46 ounces, imagine a rigid container, 46 ounces. You can only get so many in this machine at once. But when you use a bag, you can stuff about 40% more bags into the machine, and so you have a processing advantage, right? Also, this is pretty cool because we do some pretty fancy stuff with it. We can top it with nitrogen when we're done filling so it doesn't oxidize. And when you pull this, for example, just to open this.
We just happen to have some cups.
We just happen to have some cups that just dropped in here. When you dispense out of it, you're not opening a cap, and so oxygen's not going back in the bottle, so it doesn't oxidize. So this will stay fresh for the full length of the date code. And you just hopefully whoops.
So you can take this on a picnic.
Picnic, you throw it right in the cooler, but now you put this back in your refrigerator, and it's going to stay fresh for probably 30 to 60 more days.
I was going to ask you what the shelf life is on your juices.
Well, it ships FOB with anywhere from 60 to 90 days. Depending on the juice. Obviously, the more acidic, like an orange juice, it'll last a little longer, but you know, you get more into the green juices and they don't go as long.
Now the craft juices, you said you make some bar juices in these bags too.
Correct. So we call this our barrel bag technology. So the first 4 SKUs we did is our fresh Valencia orange juice, our fresh apple juice, fresh cranberry, and fresh grapefruit. We're going to add our world famous Agave Margarita into the barrel bag technology really soon, so we're pretty excited.
Why did that one take off?
You know, the margarita, it still is today the #1 selling cocktail in America. I mean, you know, margarita, not ours necessarily, but I'd like to think so, right? But when you go into a bar, it's the #1 ordered margarita, you know, cocktail, definitely.
The hardest thing about building this business was what?
When you're trying to really change and redefine an industry, you know, there's a lot of opposition. You know, people don't, they want to let it change.
Well, we never did it that way, so why are you doing this,
100%.
Right?
And, you know, now we're running around saying unpasteurized. Because we are unpasteurized. To pasteurize something means involve heat. Louis Pasteur, another Frenchman, right? So flash pasteurization is great, it's fine, but it heats the juice up, it holds it, and it chills it back down again to kill bacteria and make the juice last longer. We use the power of pressure instead of heat to do the same thing, kill bacteria and give a long... So when you put something like unpasteurized on your package and people see it, they freak out. You know, they think, oh, it's raw. I mean, a lot of raw foodies, which I used to be for years, still am, they love that. But when you see unpasteurized, if you're a mother and you have a young child, you might have a little concern that, maybe it's not safe and whatnot. But just because it says unpasteurized doesn't mean that this is unsafe. It's not involving heat. So we put HPP, processed with high pressure, unpasteurized. We can leverage that marketing because it's a result of the technology we use.
You've done a lot in a very short amount of time. What's next? Do you ever think about that, or are you just concentrating on? You've got a lot of flavors here. You're shipping out a lot.
Yeah,
it's cranking out of New Haven. Do you think about what could be down the road? Are you going to do this for the rest of your life? You
know, it's the passion. It's like once you have a little bit of success and you taste that, and success meaning getting on shelves or having somebody walk down the street with a bottle of Ripe in their hand, it's really gratifying. And we're leveraging something here. We're leveraging great timing. We're leveraging premiumization. The wonderful millennials are getting older now and starting to spend their money. And some of the things that they really love is quality, freshness, and they're willing to trade up a couple dollars for something much better. So what we're probably going to do is continue to leverage the technology that we have, high pressure processing, and just make better products for people. Honestly, there's nothing added in this. This is just like you would make it in your kitchen. And honestly, to see Americans need to eat better. They need to know where their fruits and vegetables are from in their juices. To see a little kid taste apple juice for the first time that hasn't been heated and it doesn't have sodium chloride in it or citric acid, it's great. It's gratifying for us and all 100 people we have now. We're starting to get proud and maybe a little high on you know, making better stuff for people. It's pride.
We see billboards along I-95. You're starting to advertise.
We are.
You're spending money. You're being known. Are there markets you want to get into that you're not into yet?
We've been, you know, a lot of the demise of smaller businesses, you grow too fast, right? So we've had some great advisors, some great investors, some Connecticut-grown investors as well too. And you know, the one thing that many of my advisors have always said is, you know, focus, narrow and deep, don't go big too fast. So we've really tried to focus on certain markets: Northeast, Florida, Southwest, California. We're going to focus on those markets for a little bit and hopefully spread into other regions in the U.S. But you know, when you're making something that's consumed by most everybody every day, you can grow quite quickly. But we don't want to ever sacrifice quality, and we want to not grow too fast. So
do you lie in bed at night thinking and worrying about the company?
Of course. Yeah, of course. I don't think that'll ever go away.
Because the buck stops with you. correct?
It does. We have a board now. You know, we're growing quite large. It was the first board I ever had, which is great. But again, I've had a great board, and I've had great investors and advisors. So I do.
Did you luck out that way, or was it that you put this group of people around you?
I've been very fortunate that I found some wonderful people. Yeah. You know, when I was originally going out to raise our initial round of capital, like when you start a business and you want to get bigger, you know, a lot of people tend to want to hold on to 100% of their company. But quite frankly, we've grown quickly because I wasn't afraid to dish out part of the company in exchange for capital. And if you can do that and you do it the right way, you can really scale quickly and you can bring great knowledge to your business. You know, investors with a bag of money is one thing, but an investor with a bag of money and knowledge and connections and know-how is the other part of it.
So you don't need Shark Tank.
I had my own Shark Tank. Yeah.
And figured out what it is.
Yeah.
So are you having fun? I mean, you're working 80 hours a week, but you're having some fun?
Definitely starting to get fun. I mean, it was very, you know, it was fun, and then we were like, whoa, you know, like business takes a while. People say 5 years, right? And we struggled for a while. We really did, because we were trying to change an industry, and you know, when you're competing against Coke and Pepsi and a lot of larger companies, it's quite tough. But for instance, how we answered that question is we went out and one day walked into Ocean Spray, which is a grower-owned cooperative, and said, hey, could you help us kind of nudge us a little, and we'll buy your cranberries and make a fresh cranberry juice. And it was a great relationship with them, because they wanted to get in there fresh, and they didn't really know how to do that either. So it was one hand washes another, and that was one of the ways that we kind of accelerated our company.
What if somebody comes along and buys you out? Is that going to happen?
You know, I mean, I think the long-term strategy for myself, I'd love for that to happen one day, and our investors, but, you know, it's really turning into a pride and a passion thing with us. You know, we have a little ways to go here before we just let this company go or whatnot, because honestly, it's such a new category. You know, we went from the frozen logs of orange juice, you remember those, the Tropicana frozen logs, to Naked and Odwalla, which are great brands, to really juices of our quality now. And it's the next step is still new. We still need to build the business, build the company, build the brand before we let go, because there's not, even the big guys, they don't know really how to do the high pressure technology that we do. We've kind of pioneered it.
And just to wrap up here, give me your elevator speech for somebody that doesn't know anything about Ripe in a paragraph.
Yeah, okay. Basically, I like to say, I give ode to our craft brewers of America. We're like the craft beer of juice. You know, they did it first. They took what used to be very light American beers that weren't very good. You know, they were made with not so good ingredients, and America's craft brewers came along. They used much better ingredients, made much smaller batches, and they made beer a lot better. And that's exactly what we're trying to do to the juice world. You know, we're buying 100% traceable fruits, making smaller batches, and putting a lot of pride into what we do. I say, I'll end it at that too, but we craft our products. We don't process them, and it's really true, and we're super fortunate.
And I get to say, I knew you when. Michel Boissy.
Yeah, that's why I'm so excited to be here, because I really do remember how, and you've been such a staple in Connecticut.
Started. Well, it's good stuff.
Well, and
thanks for making it in Connecticut.
Thank you, man. It's really good to be here.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Spend all night kissing, and if one was right here, then who else is missing? Got a little sidetracked if I'm so wishing I could find the keys to the door, but it's also a metaphor. Need to keep locked in the grocery store, but mine just to save time. Skip right ahead to the nice ride. The harder we look, the less we can see. Don't you know that you need me?